Before we jump into today's video, don't forget to scoop up something to munch on at rrgsnacks.com, our online concession stand that has an assortment of beef and bacon jerky, butter toffee peanuts, and gummy sour peach rings. It always starts with a screenshot, a sneaky little direct message, a half-type message someone thought they deleted. But once it hits the internet, it spreads faster than butter on a hot slice of cornbread, and suddenly, Florida rapper Bossman Dlow is allegedly the main character in a digital dragout over some alleged messages he exchanged with a transgender influencer named Timmy Bandsome. Now, whether you believe the messages are real or not is beside the point. The receipts are posted, the comments are commenting, and Twitter is clowning. But under all that noise lies a much deeper issue that gets brushed aside in favor of likes and laughs. It's the real-world consequence of what it means to be outed in 2025, especially as a Black man in a culture where queerness is still taboo and often treated like a ticking time bomb. Let's be clear, outing someone, whether they're a celebrity, influencer, or just your everyday regular dude, is dangerous, especially when the outing is tied to their sexuality or gender preferences. Because for all the talk we do about acceptance, visibility, and living in your truth, there's still this lurking hunger to expose, humiliate, and punish those who don't fit neatly into the masculine mold society carved out for them. And that's exactly what this situation has turned into. The whole thing has sparked a messy storm of reactions. Some are saying if Bossman is into that sort of thing, he needs to come out loud and proud. Others are calling his masculinity into question. But the real question is, why is this even news in the first damn place? If we're really out here trying to normalize this type of lifestyle, then why does every alleged hookup between a Black man and a trans person go viral with the same shock value as a cheating scandal? Because underneath the hashtags and rainbow flags, society still treats queer relationships, especially those involving Black men, as scandalous, dirty secrets instead of valid expressions of human intimacy. And therein lies the psychological trap. For many Black men, masculinity isn't just a social identity, it's armor. From the time they're little boys, they're told to man up, stop crying, don't act soft, and God forbid, they better not be too sweet. In families, in churches, on basketball courts, and in barbershops, Black masculinity is policed with a level of intensity that leaves no room for exploration or softness, let alone queerness. So what happens when a man who's been told his whole life to be hard, aggressive, and stoic finds himself attracted to someone outside of the norm? He goes into hiding. He becomes another body on the down low, locked in a private identity that he has to protect at all costs. Because in his world, exposure doesn't just mean embarrassment, it can mean losing everything from respect to relationships to his career and even his safety. This is the space that Bossman now finds himself in. Whether the messages are genuine or not, the damage has already been done. The narrative is out there. People are pointing fingers, making jokes, and dissecting his every move like they work for the damn FBI. But imagine what that does to the mind of a man who never signed up to have his personal life put on blast. When a man is forcibly outed, especially in the Black community, the fallout is more than social. It's psychological. The shame, the fear, and the anxiety can remain long after the direct messages fade away from our messy timelines. According to a 2023 study in the Journal of Black Psychology, Black men who experience forced exposure of their sexual identity often report heightened levels of depression, social withdrawal, and even thoughts of ending their lives. It's not just about being embarrassed. It's about being stripped of control over your own narrative. And that's the part we rarely talk about when they're reposting screenshots and sipping digital tea. When Timmy posted those messages, whether to expose, protect themselves, or simply share an interaction, it unleashed a cultural storm. Suddenly, Bossman isn't just a rapper anymore. He's a case study. He's a headline. He's a punchline in group chats and comment sections. And while many praise the transparency, others are starting to ask, was it worth it? Because here's the thing, if we say we want safety and inclusion for the LGBTQ community, then we have to stop turning private interactions into viral spectacles. If someone's not ready to share that part of themselves publicly, they shouldn't be dragged into the spotlight like a circus freak show. That doesn't help normalize queerness. It reinforces the idea that it's something shameful, hidden, and worthy of exposure. In fact, it's this same fear that keeps so many Black men in the closet. It's not always internalized homophobia. Sometimes it's just survival, especially for high-profile celebrities. Coming out doesn't just mean embracing your truth, it means risking your livelihood. It means risking deals, collaborations, and fan support. In some cases, it means risking your life. We've seen it time and time again. A male celebrity gets accused of being gay or bisexual, and the internet turns into a circus. Speculations fly, and the constant microscope doesn't create a safe space for queer men. It makes the closet feel like the only sane option. And then, when someone does tiptoe out or gets put on blast, the same people who claim to be allies are the first ones cracking jokes or spreading the tea. So the question remains, are we really about that acceptance life, or are we still using queerness as a weapon? In this case, the entire situation with Bossman also brings up the complicated dynamic between visibility and discretion in the transgender community. Many trans women deal with real violence and rejection simply for existing. So for someone like Timmy, sharing this experience may have felt like reclaiming power, but it also highlights the tension between self-protection and public exposure. The lines get blurry fast, especially when followers and cliques are involved. And let's not even lie, this is also a symptom of celebrity culture. People love to see stars brought down to earth. The higher they rise, the harder they fall. Exposing a rapper's private lifestyle, that's prime internet content. It gets reposted, it trends, it fuels the algorithm. But we have to remember that real lives are attached to these headlines. Now, does that mean people shouldn't be held accountable for how they treat trans people? Absolutely not. If someone's being disrespectful, manipulative, or exploitative, they deserve to be called out. But there's a difference between accountability and spectacle, between justice and humiliation. And when the lines blur, the damage runs deep. For Bossman, this might be just another rumor to dodge or another PR fire he might have to stomp out. Or it might be a turning point that forces him to reckon with parts of himself he's kept hidden. Either way, the public doesn't have a right to demand that journey on their terms. And for every Black man watching this unfold, it sends a message. It tells them that even in 2025, vulnerability can cost you everything. That exploring your sexuality, even in private, can still be weaponized. And that's a chilling message for anyone just trying to survive in a world that already demands so much from Black masculinity. In the end, this isn't just about Bossman or Timmy. This is about how we treat queerness, privacy, and Black men in the spotlight. It's about recognizing that the internet might move on in 24 hours, but the impact lingers much longer. It's about choosing humanity over humiliation. It's about accepting someone's artistry and enjoying their music while allowing them to live their life on their terms. Because if we keep treating queerness like a scandal, we're not building a more inclusive world. We're just building bigger closets. If you enjoyed this video, let us know down below, and thanks for watching RRG.